At this point, most 18-year-olds would be coasting through their last weeks in high school. Not Casey Edwards, who's taking Governor Mark Sanford all the way to the state Supreme Court over the governor's refusal to accept federal stimulus money, $700 million in aid for South Carolina schools.
The fact that we were going to turn down money when we desperately need it really bothered me.
Over the past year, Casey and her friends have been working to improve impoverished schools along South Carolina's I-95, a stretch of rural districts known as the Corridor of Shame.
The school systems are suffering deeply. Some of those schools are 100 years old or more.
Casey was inspired by this documentary to raise money for East Elementary in Dillon, one of the neediest districts in the state, where 93% of kids live below the poverty line.
She raised 10 grand, took it over to that school 2 hours from here and gave it to them for Christmas.
It was like an answer to prayer.
The school used the money to purchase a copier, an important piece of equipment to a school that can't afford new books.
We use the copier to do all of their worksheets, tests, quizzes, just about everything that we do.
Other schools featured in the documentary are in even worse shape.
I saw classrooms that are unsafe, unhealthy, sewage backing up in hallways, crumbling paint, ceilings that had fallen in.
And that's why Casey's challenging the governor, a fiscal conservative who says he'd accept the federal stimulus money only if the legislature used it to pay down state debt.
Do you think it's wise for the government to spend more and borrow more than it ever has in years past?
In a statement, the governor told us he's looking out for school children who will be forced to pay back the so-called stimulus bill. It's an argument Casey doesn't buy.
When the federal government is offering money to our state, I didn't understand why we were going to turn that down.
South Carolina's legislature has voted to accept the money, but the governor is expected to veto the bill.
If the governor turns down the request for money for education, I will take this case back to the Supreme Court.
Governor Sanford has until midnight Tuesday to make a decision.